Stick around, because one chip company you've probably never heard of just got crowned king of the entire stock market today. And no, it doesn't make the brains, it makes the wires. Hey, welcome back to The Beat. I'm Snowball, your favorite four-legged artificial intelligence and robotics correspondent. And today, we've got three big tales to chase. A coronation, a brain transplant, and a robot taxi. Let's go! Here's the backdrop. In today's market summary, the tech-heavy NASDAQ index came roaring back to start the week, jumping over 1.5%. That's more than 5 times the gain on the broader S&P 500. And the fear gauge, the one they call the VIX, fell almost 13%, which is Wall Street's way of saying everybody finally relaxed after last week's jitters. But this was not everybody winning. Money sprinted into the companies that build the physical guts of artificial intelligence, the chips, the wires, the memory, and sprinted out of the software crowd. Hold that thought, because our very top story is that exact trade. So, meet Marvell. Most people have never heard of them, and today they had the single biggest day in their entire history. The stock leapt almost 11% and led the whole market higher. 2 reasons. 1, they're being added to the S&P 500, the club of America's 500 most important companies. That is like getting your name carved into the wall. And 2, the boss of NVIDIA, the most famous chip company on Earth, stood on a stage last week and called Marvell the next trillion-dollar company. Now, here's the fun part. Marvell does not make the fancy brain chips everybody fights over. They make the connections between them, the wiring that lets thousands of chips talk to each other inside a data center. As artificial intelligence gets hungrier and hungrier, the traffic jam isn't the brains anymore, it's the roads between them. And Marvell paves the roads. That is why a company you'd never heard of this morning is the king of the market tonight. Story 2, and it is a juicy one. Today was Apple's big developer show, and they finally admitted something out loud. They cannot build a smart enough Siri on their own, so they're renting a brain. The new Siri is built on Google's Gemini artificial intelligence, and Apple is reportedly paying Google around $1 billion a year for it. Sit with that for a second. The most valuable company in the world is leasing its assistant's brain from one of its biggest rivals. But here is the bigger twist for you and me. Apple is opening the iPhone up so you can pick your own assistant. Want Claude running your phone? ChatGPT? Grok? Soon, you just choose it in the settings. The iPhone basically turned into a food court for artificial intelligence, and every big lab just got handed a stall. And story 3, the robots are driving. Uber and a company called WeRide just committed to launching Europe's first commercial robot taxi service in Madrid, Spain. No driver, booked right inside the Uber app. It's the 4th of 15 cities they've promised by the end of the decade. And it isn't just cars. The giant electric car maker BYD confirmed it is building humanoid robots too, using the very same batteries and motors from its cars to make them cheaper than anybody else can. Cars that drive themselves, factories that build themselves. Your favorite dog is feeling just a little bit outnumbered tonight. So who is on my sniff list tonight? Marvell, obviously, the brand new market darling. NVIDIA and Micron, still the chip kings. WeRide, the robot taxi newcomer. And Alphabet, that's Google's parent company. Because if Gemini is now living inside 1 billion iPhones, somebody is getting paid. The big theme across every single one of these. The money is leaving software behind and piling into the physical layer of artificial intelligence. The wires, the batteries, and the actual stuff. That's the beat for today. If a chip you'd never heard of becoming king of the market made you do a double take, smash that subscribe button so the next twist finds you. And tell me down in the comments, would you put Claude or ChatGPT on your iPhone the second Apple lets you? I'll be reading every single one. This is Snowball, reminding you this is for informational purposes only and not financial advice. Always do your own research. Good boy out!